Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Real Life Real Crime Daily for Friday, March 31st. And I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agavino. Happy Friday to everyone.
Happy Friday.
TGIF.
Friday.
TGIF. We are going to start TGIF off on a bit of a somber note, but promise you by the time we get to the end of the episode, we're going to have you chuckling along with us because we all need to find ways to smile when the world is so upside down.
I agree. And y'all, we brought it to you on the last episode of Real Life Real Crime Daily about the two Baton Rouge police officers, the helicopter pilots, Corporal Scotty Canizero and, of course, Sergeant David Poirier being tragically killed in a helicopter crash when they were helping assist in a pursuit, and that went into West Baton Rouge Parish. When yesterday, and they brought their bodies home, I would say this: they were separated for the first time since they arrived to take off in the helicopter that night. And what happens in process like this is all state police, every cop, every fire department, everyone, they escort the bodies back, and Corporal Scotty Canizero was taken to the location in Baton Rouge, and Sergeant David Poirier was brought home here to Denham Springs. And what they do, they shut down the interstates and the routes, and people pull over, and it make you cry. You see little kids on the side of the road, and they salute, and the big flags are flying, and heroes were brought home to the places, the funeral homes where the memorial service is going to be held. And again, our hearts go out to the families, and everybody who knew them and loved them. We lost true heroes, everyday heroes that you never even think about until something tragic like this happens, and we just pray for them and the law enforcement family, which is probably tighter than most people's families are. I don't know what else to say, y'all.
Yeah, they had as Woody said, they split them up kind of for the first time, and they were being brought to two separate funeral homes. Mr. Poirier was brought to the Seal Funeral Home in Denham Springs, right, and they had a procession that was just, you're in awe of, and you never want to see those type of processions, but it was a beautiful tribute to that fallen officer.
Yeah, to both of them, right? And I don't know, it's some all give some give all,
right?
And think where this country would be if they didn't have that thin blue line separating evil from good.
Amen.
Rest in peace, brothers.
Woody, have we learned anything yet?
Yeah, we've learned a lot of stuff, and I think just until the funerals are done, I would defer. Let's concentrate on their lives, and I'll tell you one thing: the Baton Rouge City has suspended nighttime operations of helicopters, even though they only have one left. until further investigation and all that. But that's it's going to be more stuff will come out. But I think right now it's appropriate to focus on these heroes and the families and the loved ones and everybody that knew them that's hurting. And the fact that we lost 2 career law enforcement professionals who literally gave their lives protecting us.
Amen.
Rest in peace. All right, so y'all, then now we're going to go to the other story we brought you, and everybody knows about this. The latest on the Nashville school shooting. It's just a day after the Christian school shooting that rocked the city of Nashville. New details began to emerge regarding the 28-year-old shooter and the heroic response from police officers on the scene. Nashville Police Chief John Drake speculated she went to that actual school, and so there's some belief that there was some resentment for having to go to that school, and that's why this incident occurred. They have new surveillance footage that shows the shooter approaching the Covenant School at around 10:15 Monday morning in camo pants and a military-style vest with multiple guns on her person. She then shoots through the glass side doors and calmly crawls through into the school. At that point, she begins wandering around, appearing to look for victims. On Tuesday, police also released body cam footage from Nashville Hero Police Officers Rex Engelbert and Michael Colazzo.
The shooter, you know the story. You've seen it by now. I'm sure some of you have seen the body cam footage of the incident, and eventually the response of the police department, the Nashville Metro Police, is, what made this situation, avoided this situation being much worse. As horrible and as tragic as it already was, it could have been much worse with the amount of guns that this person had and those sorts of things. So the police response, if you saw the body cam footage, was absolutely amazing. I was in awe of it. Y'all, these officers were running towards gunfire. There was no hesitation. And I'd heard, and seen some chatter on the social media about, well, they learned something from the Uvalde incident and all of that sort of stuff. Let me tell you, definitely everybody learned something from that. But these officers, I think if they would have been in Uvalde wouldn't have been anywhere near as bad as it was. These guys were absolute heroes. If you cannot watch that without getting chills, you are not living. It is absolutely unbelievable, their heroic effort. When they heard the gunshots, and look, these are massive weapons. You're in a school with alarms going off, and you're hearing gunshots that are echoing throughout a school. Everything's, echoed times 10 in those schools. And they hear that and they start saying, run towards it. Wow.
Yeah. And that's how they're trained now to go to the threat and eliminate it. And so, this person's in there killing people, and you're going to kill or be killed.
What was the event that changed the procedures? Was it after?
It was Sandy Hook.
It was after Sandy Hook.
We did the first training here at North Corbin Elementary when it was empty and it was a new school. And I'll never forget, because before that, we would respond to an active shooter and surround the building and get the hostage negotiators and all that. But because of the mass killings they were able to do during that time at Sandy Hook, that we had to rethink the process and come up with new policies. And there's so many different things that'll never be released to the public that even the educators and the students are trained on, and things to do and signals and different types of things. But the main thing is, go in. Now, you got to remember, like even in this case, a lot of times you're going to be walking past dead bodies, but you got to put that out of your head and go to the threat. And I'm going to tell you this. There's cops out there who need that badge to feel like a man, right? A guy that pulls you over and lectures you 30 minutes before they write you a ticket. And that's that same cop, and I've had it happen to me, been responding to, responding to shots fired, and I've seen cops pull over and let me pass them so I can get there first because they're scared. You know, but these guys weren't scared.
And all of that, because of the timing of Sandy Hook,
Right.
precedes Parkland, precedes Uvalde. And so,
Right.
you know, in those moments, we saw cops
You see
freeze,
the true character.
freeze with fear.
You see the ones that need the badge to feel like a man, and when the shit goes down, the sugar turns to shit, you see the true character come out.
Yeah.
And these guys with the body cam footage, I mean, there's not a moment of hesitation.
Not a moment. And Mike, when I was watching this, there was two commanding officers in particular that were unbelievably well trained, to the point that I knew right off the bat, I'm like, these guys are military. These guys spend a lot of time in special forces or something. I mean, one of them, you know, he had total command of his unit, and he, to the point that he would push them. He would push them, you know, but I mean, speed personified, how they were checking those rooms and going in and out of them.
And that is, you play the way you practice. They train on it several times a year now, each department, and police departments have been shamed somewhat now for using military tactics, but they're more ashamed in this case. Right?
I submit to you that had military tactics and the training of these individuals been less than what it was, I submit to you that we would have had a lot more people dead in that school.
Oh yeah.
You are my heroes, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yes. I mean, she had 96 rounds between the three guns.
And that's what I was guessing the other day, 240 round mags and 16 in the pistol.
So give her another 10 minutes in the building,
right.
and we could be talking 20, 30, 40.
Or more, right? More.
So
that high-powered rifles, and you know, we're in the room, and I shoot through Jim, and you're behind him. It's going to get you too. It could have been 160.
So the families of all but obviously 3 students.
Yes, and hearts go out to those victims, the students, and the other people who were killed.
Absolutely, and you know, after I saw this video and just was blown away by and impressed by these heroes, I wanted to learn a little more about them, and I want to tell you all a little more about and especially the 2 commanding officers in this story. And so I'm going to tell you about those guys. So you have Michael Colazzo and Rex Engelbert, and they're credited for being the leaders of their units that went into that school. Engelbert is a 4-year veteran of the police force. He grew up on the north side of Chicago. He has 3 brothers and a sister. He was one of the first officers on the scene after the female shooter shot her way into the building. It was Engelbert's body cam footage that shows the officer quickly grabbing a rifle from the back of his squad car upon arriving. And once in the building, as we said, he directed the team towards the shooter. After clearing the first floor, Engelbert is heard telling his partners that it sounded like the shooter is upstairs. Engelbert and his team of officers raced to the second floor and ran down the hallway as gunfire is heard, y'all. At the end of the hallway, Engelbert peered around the corner where the shooter was standing and fired multiple shots, dropping her to the ground.
Good.
Yeah. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Now, his older brother was interviewed and said, as an older brother, I'm proud of him as I can be and is happy, that he's okay. This is the selfish part of me, of course, thinks I hope my brother's not there. The practical part of me thinks and has confidence in that if my brother's there, his training and fortitude would be forthcoming.
Absolutely.
Engelbert received a commendation for his precision policing last week after he helped recover meth, fentanyl, stolen handgun, and nearly 24 stolen credit cards, along with arresting 2 dangerous felons. Collazo, a 31-year-old Marine Corps veteran, former firefighter, and former SWAT team paramedic, he was born and raised in Nashville and joined the Marines after graduating high school. Collazo, who is the father of a young girl, moved in on the shooter after she was initially shot by Engelbert. Body cam footage from Collazo, which is a 9-year veteran of the Metro Nashville Police, and one of the other officers approaching the shooter can be heard yelling at her to stop moving after she was shot. Collazo then fired more shots at her after she dropped to the ground as she continued to move and clung to the gun. Collazo and the other officer finally reached the shooter's body, telling her to get your hands away from the gun before Collazo moved the firearms out of reach. He was also one of the officers that responded to a bombing in downtown Nashville on Christmas Day in 2020. He's obviously very brave, braver than I ever imagined, his sister was quoted as saying. He really loves his job. When I sit and think about all the training and all the different classes that he does and all the family events he's had to miss because of training or leaving to go through training, it really does pay off.
Right. And, hey, they could have just as easily been murdered also.
Yeah, 100%.
And heroes, you know what? That's what people need to remember about cops. There's good and bad in every profession, like I told you, like the ones that need the badge to feel like a man. But what about the ones who get up, put on that uniform every day, not knowing what they're going to encounter, not knowing if they're coming home? And you know what? They have to see it all. The carnage. I mean, I've seen dead kids, and I can see them right now. Everyone that ever worked in my mind. That's something that they're going to carry for the rest of their lives.
Right. And, you know, one more thing on this subject before we move on to the next aspect of this is that I want to say is, you know, Woody, earlier in this podcast, we're talking about some fallen officers and there's some questions out there that need to be maybe addressed at some point, but now is not the time. Right. And that's exactly the way Woody put it. And you can't put it any better than that. And so there was an incident that occurred and it absolutely infuriated me. And, you know, sometimes there's a time and a place for things, and this was not it. And Fox News was out there. They were covering this, obviously. And a lady thought that this would be a good time to interrupt. This is at the scene of the shooting. Interrupt what's going on to start promoting gun control. And always. So I'm going to play a clip for you real quick. And this is just the clip of the lady interrupting Fox News live on the air at the scene.
While the bodies are still on the ground.
While the bodies are still on the ground to promote basically a platform of this is why we don't need guns in this country.
And the gun smoke's probably still in the hallways.
Yeah, so it's just disgusting, and there's a time and a place, and that's not it. Everybody has a right to their opinion. That's what makes this country great, but this ain't the time to put that there. But we're going to play it for you and get your thoughts on that, and so it's right here.
Aren't you guys tired of covering this? Aren't you guys tired of being here and having to cover all of these mass shootings? I'm from Highland Park family vacation with my son, visiting my sister-in-law. I have been lobbying in D.C. since we survived a mass shooting in July. I have met with over 130 lawmakers. How is this still happening? How are our children still dying, and why are we failing them? Gun violence is the #1 killer of children and teens. It has overtaken cars. Assault weapons are contributing to the border crisis and fentanyl. We are arming cartels with our guns and our loose gun laws, and these shootings and these mass shootings will continue to happen until our lawmakers step up and pass gun safety legislation. I'm pretty sure this was an unsecured weapon that this teenager got a hold of. We can't even pass gun safety, like safe storage laws in this country to protect kids from getting a hold of weapons.
Now, what you just heard was someone that, in my opinion, picked absolutely the wrong time to say anything. But besides that, because she interjected my opinion, I just want to interject mine real quick. I don't think any of this is a gun problem. I think this is a mental health problem.
Hey.
And these people are crazy.
Sorry, Woody.
Okay.
Before she said what she said, the President of the United States, the Speaker, on behalf of the President, all these people made the same move.
They always did.
They took the moment to exercise an agenda. And I couldn't agree with you more, but if you're going to take the lead on something like that from anywhere, you're going to take it from our leaders. And when the President of the United States is joking about ice cream and laughing before addressing a room when he already knows about this tragedy and immediately going to gun restrictions and legislation. I mean, it
happens every time on one of these mass shootings, and I think every one of those people should be, if there was a way to do it, should be made to respond to one of these mass shootings like these hero officers did. And let me tell you something, people, guns don't kill people. People kill people. And if you take the guns away, they'll kill them with knives or bombs or whatever. Look in China. Look in England.
Look at the Oklahoma bombing. That was done with fertilizer.
Right. And a lot keeps an honest man honest. If a person, especially mental health issues, wants to kill somebody, they're going to do it. That's not the time nor the place. It's always going to come up because of these people. And I don't want to get political, but because of these people, but these people are like recess, no class.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin-baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
I want to talk about one other hero.
Right. Yeah.
I mentioned in our last episode that I knew I recognized the name Catherine Kuntz when I saw it.
Yeah.
And I immediately looked at her age and saw she was 60, and that would have matched what was in my head about at least knowing someone. This is a long time ago at Vanderbilt back in the 80s. And then, I was able to do some searches and confirm that it was the Catherine Kuntz from Vanderbilt that I remembered, who, by the way, is a Baton Rouge native.
Right.
She's another individual who took her position of leadership and responsibility and found the courage to run toward the danger.
Right.
I'm just going to read one really quick quote from a guy by the name of Russ Pulley, who is a member of the Nashville City Council and a former FBI agent. And this is what he said about Catherine Kuntz and the rest of the school staff that acted heroically that day. He said, quote, "The headmaster, Dr. Kuntz, upon hearing the first shots, ran towards the danger. She also made sure the school was prepared with active shooter training and protocols. Those actions saved countless lives." This is what he put in a post the other day. And so absolutely the heroism of the officers saved tens of children and other administrators, teachers, but the heroism of this leader to run toward the danger.
Yes, her and anybody else that responded, and her and anybody else that their training kicked in. But you know what? Your training, you could train all you want to. You still got to have it inside of you to be that special person to follow out. Who's like you saw in Uvalde or whatever when the cops are hiding and shit like that.
You're 100% accurate, Woody. And look, the Parkland shootings, the coward from Broward, you can go look at him on YouTube right now, and you got 17 kids getting assassinated in that school, and the SRO for that school is hiding behind a brick wall.
Right. Scary.
And it's just so disturbing. So disturbing. And I'm no different. Woody's no different. Mike's no different than anybody else in that we're tired of seeing these kids getting killed senselessly like this. It hurts our heart. Every single one of us has kids.
Right.
We've got to find an answer, but anybody who thinks the answer is getting rid of guns is missing the whole picture.
Yeah, outlaw guns and only
Only outlaws will have them.
Right. Outlaw guns and only outlaws will have them. Yeah.
Well, look, it's an extremely complicated, nuanced set of issues, but we are really the only country in the world that is experiencing these things, right? So, we know from data around the world that that's true. So, what is happening that is unique in the United States that is, creating the kind of environment where these things happen? The guns existed long before these things started happening. Right. It's clearly not the reason these things happen. Are there potentially some things that might make sense? Maybe. I don't know. It's certainly not taking the Second Amendment off the table. I think there's a lot of other, things that are complicating factors. Last night, I'm in my house and I've got my entire family around me. We're all in the same room, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I looked around and every single one of us had our heads in our phones. We weren't talking to each other. Yeah. We weren't paying any attention to each other. There was no family conversation about anything. We've got all this stuff going on in Washington right now with the, do we kick TikTok out of the United States? Do we pass a more holistic set of laws, eliminating a lot of the data tracking capabilities? You had hundreds of top technologists across the world come out with a letter looking for a 6-month stoppage of work on AI because of all of the concerns about what that technology is going to bring. There was a study that the Wall Street Journal released on Monday. I mean, think about the timing of releasing this
these
study.
Are the things you were reading. I wonder what your kids were reading. Right. But and I'm not to cut you off, but it's the same thing. I can sit in the room with my kids and my wife, and we're all doing the same thing.
Right. And everybody wants to blame the kids.
Yeah. Oh, it's my fault too.
It's our fault too.
I absolutely agree.
We've become as dependent on these things as that maybe we're not spending our time on Instagram and TikTok. Right. We'd like to think we're doing more useful things with the device, but it's cut so deeply into the time where we're telling stories and instilling values and checking on homework and asking about things going on at school and relationships with friends and all kinds of other things.
I am absolutely at fault with my almost 13-year-old, letting him gain more than he should and stuff like that. And he comes out of his room and sits with him for a few minutes, and I feel blessed. But then I'm busy. Yeah, I get it, man. I get what you're saying. I think everybody gets it.
I think so.
Well, this study put some of this in perspective for me. So this study found that 38% of Americans today say patriotism is very important to them. That number was 70% back in 1998. 39% of Americans say religion is very important to them. That number was 62% back in 1998. 30% said raising children was very important to them. That number was 59% back in 1998. Only 27% of people said involvement in their community was very important, That number was down from 62% just back in 2019.
Those are crazy.
A belief in tolerance for others is deemed very important by 58% of Americans as opposed to 80% just 4 years ago. And I think that is a huge one, the tolerance for others. It used to be different points of view about culture, social issues, laws, you name it, that we could have civil discourse with our neighbors about those things and happily drink a beer together while we were doing it, or a dinner with friends that might be another couple that different. We all shared our views pretty openly and respected the views of of others, and it has become so polarizing in this country. And I'm not blaming either side because it's everybody's fault that we're where we are. But if we don't stop the momentum in this thing that is pulling everyone closer to the pole that they favor, there's very, very bad outcomes from these things. And I when this story first broke, and I've mentioned it before, this is not a plug, it's for context, but I do a series with a journalist by the name of John Ziegler called The Death of Journalism. And, we've over the time that we've worked together gotten a really clear understanding of what stories are going to get traction and which stories aren't going to get traction. And when this story broke, I knew, it's school shooting, young kids have been killed. It's in a heavily Republican state. It's at a Christian school. That all of these things meant it was going to be blown out by the mainstream media. And then
it's because this topics are so controversial now, right?
Well, and then the police,
right,
only through questioning, made it clear that the shooter was a transgender, was a biological woman transitioning to male. And both John and myself said, well, that's it. The story's going away because the media won't be able to paint this the way they want to. But just to show how big the divide has become, we were wrong. It did blow up because it blew up, one, over guns. You had the president immediately talking about guns instead of everything that we just talked about. And you had big outlets, major outlets that have somehow turned the shooter into the victim.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Blaming the state of the country, not the lack of acceptance of trans lifestyle. I mean, who's committing violence against trans? I don't see that. I follow the news religiously, and you just don't see that. And so it
didn't have shit to do with it. It's a murdering bitch. That it doesn't matter whether they were straight or trans or homosexual or whatever, Republican, Democrat, whatever.
My point is, when the news media on all sides puts their ratings ahead of the country, we're all in big effing trouble.
That's why I don't watch any of that shit.
It's why you only listen to Real Life for Crime
Daily. And I have to read their articles and stuff like that, doing research for the episodes or coming up with stories that we think are important to y'all. But on this one, again, not the time to have the argument. I agree with you 1,000%, Mike. I don't know if I had the answer, if anybody had the answer, then we wouldn't have the problem, right?
Well, what this Wall Street Journal survey with the data in here, if everyone in this country looked at this and did a deep dive, because there's a lot more that's here. I mean, to me, what really struck me is the individualism now, that everyone is out for themselves. The importance of family, the importance of community, the importance of tolerance, the importance of religion, or at least belief in something that creates a sense of morality in people, a reason to live your life a certain way. All of those things are escaping us, especially escaping the younger generation. I didn't break out any of those stats I gave to you demographically, but they fall very sharply.
It's not escaping them. They've never had it. I can tell you in my lifetime, I used to go to high school with my shotguns and rifles in the truck, right? And slowly over time, everything's changed. But that's it. We don't have an answer to it, and the world's gone to shit.
The only question that showed appreciable growth in being very important from 1998 to now and that was consistent across political, demographic, sexual orientation lines, was the importance of money. That how motivated people are by money today versus where they were just a couple of decades ago.
Well, and
scary stuff.
I got one thing to say before we wrap this story up. And Steve Jobs, who at the time that he passed away was the richest man in the world. Steve Jobs on his deathbed, literally a few minutes before he died, he was asked, what did you had this life, you had all this money. What's the key, man? And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, I had all the money to do everything I ever wanted to do. And as I'm lying here right now, and I know I'm going to die today, as I'm lying here, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. And that should make you think, man. We all get caught in that rat race. And I especially, have more than once had conversations with myself over that. Because driven people, it's very hard to step away from that because you feel like you're letting yourself down and everybody else around you. But family time is important. Friends, all of that is important to society. I think it's important to people's mind frame, and I think that's what we're losing here.
Here's the deal. The 2 Baton Rouge police officers that died, I bet their families are saying, I wish I had one more second. I wish I'd have spent more time.
100%.
And everybody else, we've all lost someone, and that's definitely super, super valid point. But back to the point of working so much and everything, I justify to myself, oh, well, especially when I was a homicide detective, stuff like that, it's guaranteed a birthday or Christmas or whatever, the blood was hitting the ground and you're getting called out. And I justified it as, I'm doing this for my family.
Yes.
Right? So it is this. But y'all, we're going to quit that. This is not y'all know we're not a religious and political show and all that, but you know what? That's a very true 3 American males having a heart-to-heart. And I do think it's important, even on Real Life Real Crime.
Absolutely,
Day
it's
overall.
important.
So
I agree.
God bless them all.
Thank you, guys.
God bless them all, and let's roll.
Let's move to Murdaugh time.
Oh my God! Here we go again.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Jelly the moth.
Okay, so we've been talking about the Stephen Smith case now, and over the last few shows. If you haven't been keeping up any other way than through Real Life Real Crime Daily, you know that his mother, Sandy, had written the letter in 2016. You know that she raised the GoFundMe to exhume the body. You know that we found out that somehow, despite the fact that almost everyone involved at the time believed this was a homicide, it got ruled as an accident, and that it was reclassified as a homicide, and it's an active homicide investigation at this point. Well, here's some things that are going on right now. The family lawyer for the Smiths, a guy by the name of Eric Bland, came out and declared that Stephen Smith's death should be viewed as a hate crime. He said they took a rape kit, which was brand new information. We've never seen that anywhere. They took a rape kit, and so this is an openly gay 19-year-old kid. This isn't, It's not New York City, California, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. It's in Low Country, South Carolina, where being openly gay in 2015, is probably still a, taboo. South Carolina authorities have never declared, they just declared it a homicide, but they haven't declared it a hate crime. And they have surfaced up until this point no suspects, at least they've named no suspects. Bland said, I believe it was a hate crime, meaning that it could be that a bunch of thug kids just decided, hey, we're going to beat up a gay kid today. Or it was somebody who felt that Stephen was going to out them in their relationship or was uncomfortable with Stephen in their friendship. I think that's what we're going to find, because Stephen had told his mother that he was, quote, dating somebody of prominence. Anybody know anybody of prominence that he might have been dating?
Buster. Yeah.
Smith was found dead on July 8, 2015 in a dark road in Hampton County. It's 3 miles away from where his vehicle was, which we've talked about before, and he was really close to the Murdaugh estate. It was reported that Smith ran out of gas. We've talked about this on prior episodes, and we're convinced from the coverage that that was a true statement. Well, Bland disagrees. Bland says he does not believe that Smith ran out of gas. In fact, he says he definitely didn't run out of gas. When asked if he believes that Smith was killed somewhere else and his car was placed at that location at where the authorities found it, Bland responded, I do. In an interview with Fox News, Bland laid it all out, and we want to play that for you. Here's what that sounded like.
It's Stephen's time, and I think SLED is good enough to find out what happened. Because remember, for 8 years she's saying, no, my son was murdered somewhere else. He wasn't hit by a car, and everybody was saying, some people were saying, look, lady, give it up. He was hit by a car. He was found in the middle of the highway. Sandy believes that he had relationships and was in a relationship with a very prominent person. There's a certain guarded nature down there in the Low Country, or reticent about people speaking out at all against law enforcement or against the Murdaughs. But now with that conviction of Alex and some of the citizens seeing the courageous people that came in that courtroom and put their hand up to tell the truth, Chief Keel thinks the timing is right for people to come forward.
So, as we've previously reported, during the investigation after Smith's death, the Murdaugh names were mentioned dozens of times to possibly be connected with the death, but authorities never accused a Murdaugh family member. They never questioned any Murdaugh family members. You'll remember that week before last, Buster Murdaugh came out vehemently denying that he had anything to do with Smith's death and asking the media to please leave him alone. Bland confirmed that a rape kit had been administered after Smith's death. And so why in the hell would a rape kit have been administered?
I think because they already were looking at it as a possible homicide, and during the autopsy, they would have done anal swabs and vaginal swabs, et cetera, from a rape kit just as a precaution. And if Buster's little spermies come up and then this guy's orifices, he's going to have some explaining to do.
Correct.
One of my old favorites, you guys remember Ashley Banfield back from her CNN days?
Negative.
You don't remember Ashley Banfield?
I don't watch that shit.
Okay, well, this is a long time ago. I actually didn't know she was still working in the news. That she's working.
Unless she was incredibly smoking hot like my wife, I wouldn't remember.
She was.
She must have chewed you out for the last episode.
She was like sexy librarian hot. She was.
Now I got to look her up.
Studious looking with the glasses and everything else. But she apparently has a show on News Nation. But she interviewed a Corporal Michael Duncan, who was the former supervisor of the South Carolina Highway Patrol.
How do you spell Banfield?
I'm having to spell Banfield in the middle of delivering this, folks. I apologize. Ashley.
Canadian American
She
journalist.
spells Ashley strange. It's Ashleigh.
Images.
Sorry for
Ashley
that,
Banfield.
For that interruption to what
Ashley
otherwise was
Banfield
crime
nude.
news.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that?
She would never do that. Yeah. So this guy Duncan, who again, former supervisor of South Carolina Highway Patrol,
Cindy, I need you to get some glasses like this.
told Ashley Banfield that a rape kit was conducted on Smith and that it represented the first time in Duncan's career that a rape kit was ordered in connection with a traffic incident.
Yeah.
So,
That's because he knew it wasn't a traffic accident. And I guarantee you, every homicide he's ever had, they swabbed.
well, he went on and said, I did not have any understanding of why it was being ordered. So he.
Well, now I get it, right? Because somebody might have known the tie and there might have been the cover up in and whatever. They're covering their ass, ace in the hole for a later day.
Yep. Well, we're still waiting, folks, to hear about the timing of the exhuming of Stephen Smith's body. So the money's been raised. The independent autopsy has been arranged. I don't know what the administrative holdup is, but we're still waiting on that. And the Real Life Real Crime Daily I team is trying to find out that scheduled date, and we'll let you know when we know. But in one last bit of Murdaugh news, the hunting lodge estate known as Moselle, where Alex killed Maggie and Pawpaw. I'd never do anything to hurt Maggie and Pawpaw. Just sold for $3.9 million. According to the deed of sale, the 1,700-acre property in Colleton County was sold to James A. Ayer and Jeffrey L. Godley, whoever those guys are. They've paid $3.9 million for the Moselle property. Proceeds from the sale will go to legal fees, to the family of Mallory Beach, the girl killed in the 2019 boating accident, and to Buster Murdaugh. I don't know how exactly that got arranged, but it did.
I don't either, and I promise you we're not bringing you any more Murdaugh, or you won't see any more Murdaugh in the taglines of our episodes until this...
Till the body is exhumed?
Till we have more shit, the pertinent shit that comes up.
So you're saying next week.
Yeah, right. And because I know y'all are sick of fucking Murdaugh, but this kid being, hopefully it wasn't raped.
Okay, speaking of things that come up, a quick corrections and retractions.
Yes, hey, we're off of the sad stuff in the beginning, and we're off of Murdaugh. Let's do some Real Life Real Crime Daily shit.
Okay, but first we have to do some corrections and retractions.
Yeah.
So I would like to.
This is Real Life Real Crime Daily shit.
I would like to apologize to our listeners in the great state of Mississippi who were led to believe that the story that was carried out on Facebook Live between Khadijah and her husband, that tragic event the other day, I described it as happening in Lowndes County, Georgia. It actually happened in Lowndes County, Mississippi. Apologies.
Shout out to our people in Lowndes County, Mississippi. I've been there.
LC is what I call it.
Okay.
LC.
The retraction I would like to mandate is for my friends that participate in the show, namely Mr. Overton and Mr. Chapman, and everyone out there in Real Life Real Crime Daily land. No more Joey Buttafuoco crap. Come on.
Okay, I got to say one more, and then I'll promise. Some fan put up a lifer sending in a picture of them with Joey Buttafuoco back in the 80s. I guess when he was a celebrity, before selfies were selfies, like it was like old 9mm camera shot or whatever, and they post and say, "Hey, tell Mike this is me and Jody Buttafuoco."
Well, I'm glad you were there for his 15 minutes of fame. He is blackballed from social media coverage and from mention on this show.
No more Joey Buttafuoco Mike comparisons.
All right, we can move on.
We will retract all that shit.
Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
All right. So Nordstrom earlobe biter sentenced to prison. You know, listen to this shit. You can't make this up. The truth is always strange. Truth is always stranger in fiction. An Oregon woman has been sentenced to more than 5 years in prison after biting off part of a security guard's earlobe while stealing merchandise from a Nordstrom store last year. Security guard stopped Ashley Ruth Clark, 31 years old, attempting to leave Nordstrom at Washington Square Mall in Tigard on whatever, with over $800 worth of items that she did not pay for. But Clark resisted the guards and yelled obscenities at them as they attempted to recover the stolen goods. During the scuffle, Clark bit one of the guards, chewing off at least a half-inch of the earlobe. The victim was rushed to the hospitals, but doctors were unable to reattach the earlobe. I'm having flashbacks to Mike Tyson Holyfield. As Clark was arrested, she gave a false name and a date of birth to officers who later learned that she had 2 outstanding warrants for her arrest. Clark pleaded guilty to second-degree assault and first-degree attempted robbery on Friday, whatever. She was given a sentence of 70 months in prison, followed by 3 years of post-prison supervision at her release. Right? Can't make that up. And I need to reach out to her because I need to know if it tastes like pork or chicken.
Well, speaking of what it tastes like, I mean, if you think
flesh.
about that, the fact that they were unable to reattach it. So, I mean, years ago, 1980 or so, I had a buddy who lost his thumb while he was doing donuts in a truck that ended up turning over, and they were able to reattach his thumb. And so when they say chewing, they literally meant she was chewing it.
Hey, look,
because if it came off in one clean bite, they could reattach that thing easily.
Lorena Bobbitt's husband's dick back on.
Yeah, it was not a big.
Well, it doesn't matter. They put it back on. But I agree. When they say mangled, she must have got on that mug, and she really got the flavor profile. I got to reach out to her.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because when you do the autopsy and you cut people open, the fat really is like this yellow, orange stuff, and all the animals I've skinned, the fat's always been white. So I'm wondering if the fat makes it taste different. So I don't know how much fat's in the earlobe.
Can't be much.
God.
But I've never had an autopsy where they sliced open the earlobe. But every rest of your body fat's yellow.
Yeah. Well, I think that the tell there was the chewing off in the story.
Good riddance to her.
Well, I guess Holyfield didn't press charges against Mike, but then again, Mike didn't have $800 worth of stolen items.
Right.
On to a little sadder case. Some human remains were found in a West Central Illinois storage unit, and they had been identified as those of a former police chief. The remains were discovered actually last fall, and they just now got identified as the remains of Richard R. Young, 71. He was the former Manquon Village police chief, and that is coming straight from the Knox County Sheriff's Office. Marcy Oglesby, 50, of Manquon, has been charged with first-degree murder and concealing the death of a person in this case. She has pled not guilty and remains in custody at the Knox County Jail. The Sheriff's Office received confirmation of the identity Tuesday after taking DNA from the composed remains and comparing it to samples from Young's relatives. The remains were found October 7th, 2022 at a storage unit in Knox County, and Oglesby claimed that the smell was, boom, Jim, at a storage unit in Knox County after folks were complaining of an odor coming from the storage unit. Oglesby claimed the smell was from a possum that had previously died in the unit. Eventually, Oglesby admitted that there was a body inside a large box, but she had previously refused to open for police. It's not clear how Young died, but a toxicology report shows a high level of a toxic chemical found in eye drops was found in Young's system. Knox County Sheriff's Department Detective Jeremy Moore testified last month that Oglesby had reportedly been in a relationship with Young. And we're going to post a picture of former Sheriff Richard Young on Facebook for you guys.
Crazy.
Yeah, maybe she should have, when people were reporting the smell, maybe she should have gotten it out of there. And who knows?
Prisons are full of dummies.
Yes, they are. Well,
she couldn't spring $400 for a freezer to put them in and plug it in inside the thing.
Harassment is a big problem in this country. Do you guys agree with that?
I agree.
We hear lots of stories about harassment.
I agree.
I think this next story is a form of harassment you guys will never have heard of prior to now.
All right.
I'm guessing, but I think that's the case. This is a story about 33 swimmers who have been charged with dolphin harassment.
Hey.
Dolphin harassment.
Dolphin, like the mammal?
The mammal.
All right.
Flipper. This is about harassing Flipper.
Let me tell you something. My all-time favorite mammal or animal, I would say, is a dolphin. I've swam with the dolphins. I love them. I love being underwater. Somebody harassing dolphins, they better not be in the state of Louisiana. I'm going to have to make a phone call, get somebody.
Well, you may not know, but depending on where you're trying to swim with dolphins, you may be breaking the law. So here's what happened. Hawaiian authorities on Tuesday referred 33 people to U.S. law enforcement after the group allegedly harassed a pod of wild spinner dolphins in waters off the Big Island of Hawaii. It is against federal law to swim within 50 yards of spinner dolphins in Hawaii's nearshore waters. The prohibition went into effect in 2021, so these people may very well not have been aware of it. Right. I don't think any of us were aware of it. The prohibition went into effect because there were concerns that so many tourists were swimming with dolphins that the nocturnal animals, which I didn't realize they were nocturnal animals, weren't getting the rest they need during the day to be able to forage for food at night. The rule applies to areas within 2 nautical miles of the Hawaiian coastland, and the State Department of Land and Natural Resources said in a news release that its enforcement officers came upon the 33 swimmers in, I get to do a Hawaiian pronunciation, Hanawanua Bay on Sunday during a routine patrol. Please do not write me from Hawaii. I know the odds are like 5% chance I got that right.
Hey, you're behind the microphone. You're gonna get shit.
Okay. Yeah. Aerial footage shot by drone shows the snorkelers following the dolphins as they swam away. The department said its video and photos showed swimmers who, quote, appear to be aggressively pursuing, corralling, and harassing the pod.
That's just stupid.
Enforcement officers contacted the group while they were in the water and told them about the violation. Uniformed officers met with the swimmers on land, where state and federal officials launched a joint probe of the swimmers. Now, Hawaii's spinner dolphins feast on fish and small crustaceans, and they do this when the small fish and crustaceans surface from the ocean's depths at night. When the sun rises, they head for shallow bays to hide from tiger sharks and other predators. We're going to post this picture of these spinner dolphins because I've got a real life, real crime daily fun fact. Scientists believe that spinner dolphins spin for several reasons, including communication, removing parasites. So they get up there and spin to get those
remora off shower,
everything, and simply for the fun of it. So spinner dolphins are about 6.5 feet long with a long, thin snout and can make as many as 7 rotations at a time. To the untrained eye, the dolphins appear to be awake during the day because they're swimming. This was news to me, but because they sleep by resting half of their brains and keeping the other half awake to surface and breathe, they may be sleeping even when they're maneuvering through the water. Man, I think, if there's
that's like you drive it in from New Orleans.
If there's truth to the the theory of evolution, then I think that
you didn't hear what I said.
No, I totally heard it, and I agree that I certainly can think of times where I think I'm operating on half a brain and the rest is sleeping. The people in the audience might say, like, at this very moment. I forgot what I wrote. I wrote crime on the islands has dropped since the cancellation of Hawaii 5-0, and apparently Steve McGarrett was looking for something to do. McGarrett is leading the investigation.
There you go.
Spinner
Hey, let me tell you, I was in Maui last year with Shane McBride and Tracy and them, and when I say y'all, that I swim on, I didn't mean like these assholes. I'm talking about when I'm diving, et cetera, and I get to see them. But my other ones, my absolute favorite creature, even more than dolphins, is the sea turtles. And so you'll see them swimming. You don't go near them, right? They had this monster, middle of the daytime. I'd seen it. I was snorkeling around with Shane, and I saw it. And I was like, "That's the biggest turtle I've ever seen. Much bigger than the ones in the Caribbean." And it came up on the beach during the daytime, and shit, people like almost suffocated. I wanted to go in there and start knocking people out, give this damn thing some room. He just wanted to hang out on the beach for a minute. I guess it's like these spinner dolphins.
Some of those turtles are famous, though, some of those resorts there, and they charge for the pictures, yeah. So that turtle's got probably the one, if he was that big, he's probably got a nice bank account.
But he doesn't have a house as nice as yours.
Probably doesn't want to live on dry land.
Hey, fuck them. They should have got a ticket. I'm sorry.
Today's mammal report is over.
All right. Hey, that was a good one. All right, y'all. First of all,
dun, dun, dun.
This is what I want. I want our fans to send in music intro. Just popped in my head. Music intro, ideas of themes or something y'all think should open these 2 segments. Dumbest criminal segments and the day of crime. And we'll pick the winners. Right?
Right.
And post it on the Real Life Real Crime Daily page. And we're about to tell y'all we're going to have a Real Life Real Crime Daily website and all other kinds of stuff coming up. But for now we'll use whatever. All right, dumbest criminal segment. And y'all, come on, man. All right, this is called Alleged Stoner Stopped After Wild Car Chase, Whips Out License from Legoland. A driver who was arrested for reckless driving had officers in stitches after producing a license from Legoland. The driver was pursued and arrested for a multitude of offenses last week, according to the Kent PD, which apprehended the 21-year-old motorist following an epic chase. The fiasco began after officers attempted to pull over an Audi A7 they had observed maneuvering recklessly all over the road. However, the driver refused, and it resulted in a 35-mile chase. They were even forced to call in other agencies to aid with the pursuit. Eventually, the pursuing officers caught up with the knucklehead after he ran out of gas, whereupon they found a large stash of marijuana in his car.
Imagine that.
And they asked him, license registration. He whipped out a Legoland license.
Hell yeah. What's wrong with that?
Dumb criminal segments. Insert your listener music. Whoever's going to win it now.
My license is from Legoland.
My license is Legoland.
Have you guys ever been to Legoland?
Yes, actually, I have.
Negative. I've not been to Legoland.
My son loved Legos when he was
My son still loves
young,
Legos.
and we used to when we would go to Disney World, we would make a stop by Legoland.
Disneyland.
It's actually pretty cool.
Is it?
Disney World. They have one in Orlando.
Is it
There's a
in-
Legoland in
Yes.
Orlando? Oh, I didn't know
must
that.
have-
It's actually
I thought that was
what is it?
uniquely
Tampa.
California.
Yeah, it might be in Tampa, but it's like a 30-minute
Kissimmee.
drive.
It's Kissimmee. I used to
Kissimmee.
live there.
Okay,
Worked security at a golf course many moons ago. And if they must not have had it in, if they did, I was drunk and I passed it up.
Yeah,
All right, that was a great dumb criminal segment.
That was
That's
great.
all I
Thank
had
you.
to say.
The cops did not accept the Legoland license, I take it.
Yeah.
I take it.
Hey, you see the ones where during COVID when they pull people over and a dude wrote, I have COVID-19. They were ordering him out of the car and he wrote it on a piece of paper and put it, I have COVID-19. I'm not getting out of the car.
Yeah, it's official.
Yeah, that really didn't
Did
work.
that work for anyone?
No, he's got skull drug.
All right, so you know what time it is. It's Today in True Crime History for March 31st.
Insert your winter music here.
Yeah, that's right. So just a couple of them today. The body of a Hispanic woman is found in Santiago Park, California. She had been stabbed. She was about 28 and may have had a laparoscopy at some point.
Laparoscopy. What the hell is that?
I don't know. What is that, Mike? Some sort of
Another mispronunciation?
No, it's a laparoscopic surgery. It's some kind of fat removal deal. It's a make me skinny surgery.
Fat suction?
Yeah.
Well, her case has not been solved, and her identity is still unknown. So they, even with all this science, they don't know who she is. Now,
Crazy.
2019, and this is something people need to heed. 2019, Samantha Josephine is murdered in South Carolina. Her death resulted in the passage of Sammy's Law, which improved protections for those utilizing rideshare services. Josephine mistakenly entered a car she believed was her Uber.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that's
That's
with
when
all
they
this,
started making put the lights and shit on the dash.
Boom. I don't want to get killed on this. Boom. I'm sorry. I'm not even close, Mike.
No, you don't have to blame it. This is Real Life Real Crime Daily.
No. I do not want to. I do not want to be subjected to this.
Yeah.
So, laparoscopic surgery is an operation performed in the abdomen or pelvis using small incisions with the aid of a camera. The laparoscope aids diagnosis or therapeutic interventions with a few small cuts in the abdomen.
Oh, yeah, you were way off.
And that, listeners, is the next thing you can back is Mike going because we can't do it on.
refer to him as Dr. Mike from now on.
You know we're not taking this out.
Wait a minute.
Do you have anything against people that have fat surgery, Mike?
Well, this wasn't. Hang on.
I don't think it's called fat surgery anyway.
See, there are all kinds of types of things you use a laparoscope for. So,
But it's not fat surgery.
Definitely not.
And
Okay.
All right.
Let me get
and
through
we're
this
not
segment.
hating on anybody that has any type of procedure, but Mike got that shit wrong.
Bring back Joey Buttafuoco.
Oh, you said it. I said beep beep. I was going to say it.
All right. So that is our Today in True Crime History from March.
Insert your winter music here.
31st. Dun, dun, dun. Now, we want to make y'all aware of one thing. We have a supporter of really all the things we do, whether it's Bloody and Gold, Real Life, Real Crime Daily, you name it. And her name is Lisa Marks, and she is awesome. And she is also a member of a group called Cajuns Against Cancer.
Yes.
And they are holding this weekend, April 1st and 2nd, the Cajun Woodstock 2023. Now, you may wonder what that is. It is a big event.
Time.
It takes place in Church Point, Louisiana.
Heart of Cajun country.
And they support all things to do with St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Yeah, shout out to them.
They have everything from cook-offs, which, trust me, if you're in Church Point, baby, you are loving the food, right?
I got to judge a St. Jude's cook-off a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of live auctions throughout both Saturday and Sunday, April 1st and 2nd. They even have a car and truck show that's going to be that day. They've got a bunch of booths. So if you have a minute and you're in the Louisiana area, go to Church Point, support the children of St. Jude.
Weather's going to be great.
Weather's going to be great.
And do it. And Lisa, we love you, and we love St. Jude's. So y'all,
Children of St. Jude, you can't find a better charity support.
Speaking of children, I'm gonna get teared up. I'm kind of teary eyed here, boys. I have, in the podcast world now, I have what I consider to be 3 children.
Shit, for a second I thought you were going to tell me Cindy was pregnant.
No, it ain't because of me. I stealth.
Speaking of children,
I stealth her. I'm sorry. No, not because I'm too old. Well, maybe I'm not too old. I don't know. But, no, I didn't get snipped.
No snip.
Ain't nobody ever snipping my shit. I don't care. That's not happening. That shit. My shit is for Cindy.
It.
My shit is for Cindy only.
Yeah, but you never have to wrap it again.
I didn't say I wrapped it anyway.
What you got to say, big dog?
All right. What I'll say is this. I have 3 children in the podcast world. My first and oldest is Real Life, Real Crime. My second born is Bloody Angola.
With me.
Right, with my daddy,
Had a
Jim
child
Chapman.
with me.
Daddy, Jim Chapman. That's our baby, right? So,
That's right.
And you've got a bunch of babies, I know. But the podcast babies I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of my third child, which I share with Mike Agavino, not to be confused with beep, beep anymore because I'm saying that person's name. And Jim and I's second child together, Real Life, Real Crime Daily. And it's been such a smashing success that
we're kicking it out of the house.
Yeah, I almost want to say that, but I don't want to say it like that because the Bloody Angola, we did it separate, right? But we did Real Life, Real Crime Daily together, and y'all, it's got its own legs now. It's grown up faster than anybody in the world ever thought it would, and so we are going to basically not kick it out of the house. We're going to make.
We're giving it its own
legs,
own home,
its own.
It's going out and buying a new house.
Yeah. It already graduated college.
That's it,
right? And
so it's making tons of money.
So what that means is,
I don't know anything about this show, but I know it didn't graduate from college.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right. It probably can't spell college, but you get the crime knowledge from the college. That is this show. But what I'm saying is this, y'all. We're gonna start really telling you about this because a week from Monday, I think the date is Real Life Real Crime Daily is going on its own feed. Now, what does that mean? It means you will not get it an alert if you're signed up for Real Life Real Crime and you get the alerts every day.
It won't be on Real Life Real Crime's feed at all.
Right.
So when we say feed, what we mean is it will be its own show.
Right.
You will need to go. So this is important for those of you that love Real Life Real Crime Daily and you're subscribed through Real Life Real Crime.
Right.
You all you need to do is go, and we'll have these links. We're going to promote the heck out of this.
We do everything.
All you're going to do is go to that Real Life Real Crime Daily show and, set it to download to your phone if that's what you do, or set it to alert you if that's what you do.
Yep.
As new episodes
all you have
drop.
to do, though, is the key word to remember is subscribe.
Right.
Click subscribe.
So, but you know what? If that first day comes, and a lot of it's going to happen, and it's Monday morning, and you want your RLRC daily fix, and you go to the feed and it's not there. Guess what? We're starting to educate you now. You play the way you practice, right? So you can even just go to anywhere you listen to a podcast in the world and type in Real Life Real Crime Daily, and guess what? Boom, you'll have it there. Boom,
Pow, pow, pow.
But not today. Don't start going there today.
Not today.
Yeah.
We'll go. Hey,
We'll let you know.
We're gonna start educating you. We're gonna give you the college from the knowledge. We are so proud of our child that's now a young adult. And
Shoot.
You got to let it fly free.
That's it.
Right.
It just got a new job, and it is ready to blossom.
it's still gonna
and
come
look,
home
we
and
want
wash
to thank
clothes?
y'all because we never could have done this.
For real,
we never could have been confident with moving this to another feed if it weren't for all of your support.
Really dreamed that it would get to this point. Right. And so it was a very proud moment. I'm proud. I think y'all are proud, and we thank y'all so much, and we can't wait to see where it goes. And this, y'all, it gives it, when you say its own legs, when you go do it, we get a lot of reviews underneath Real Life Real Crime that are for Real Life Real Crime Daily. You'll even be able to go review it and not get the two shows confused, basically, is what it boils down to.
Right. Mike, any thoughts other than drawing the Empire State Building?
Simpler way to criticize what Mike brings to the show. So
Mike's kind of sensitive.
You can find it at the URL joeybuttafuoco.com.
Hey, y'all bust his ass all you want to because it makes funny entertainment.
That's right.
Right. And he said the JB word 3 times since he said we weren't saying it anymore.
I wonder if we could get Joey Buttafuoco on the show.
No.
For a remote interview with Mike.
Shit on that. And we want to.
First of all, my Italian brothers have had a rough week. If you haven't noticed, ever since Mr. Trump decided that Mr. DeSantis would have been working in a pizza parlor had he not gotten him the nomination for governor, which is a first.
Did you see
political?
You remember Mark
history.
Cuban made that joke about, he said, I wouldn't give him a job at a Dairy Queen. And he caught so much shit for it. He went and worked a whole day at the Dairy Queen.
Who did he say that about? Trump?
No. He said it about, he was like pissed off about something. He said, I wouldn't give them a job at Dairy Queen, and Dairy Queen employees took offense at it. So he actually went into Dairy Queen and worked the whole shift.
Well, this should be a national day of revolt for anyone working at a pizza parlor.
I agree.
It is an absolute slam on all Italian Americans, and
who doesn't like pizza? Pizza and tacos.
Well,
no, I know they're not related.
Everybody likes, but I really don't see DeSantis, a guy with
why not? What's wrong with
I don't even know who that
Yale graduate with a Harvard law degree.
I think it was a compliment.
I don't even know who that is.
Pizza Hut.
So a lot of people like me don't care.
And then there's that.
I do know who he is. I'm just.
And then there's that.
I'm just messing with you.
I know you feel for me. I know there are people.
I love busting the chops,
sympathy.
man. I love what. Again, fellas, so proud of what we've done.
Yeah,
so proud of where we're going. Thank y'all again. We love and appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Taylor.
Show business.
Yes.
New
Taylor.
business.
Thank you.
Now
Thank
got
you,
me
Alex.
messed up.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Murdoch. Thank you. Whatever.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you, Trump.
Oh my God. Thank you, Joe Buttafuoco.
All right.
All right,
We've
Al,
had enough
gotta
fun.
go, gotta go.
That's right. We've been going a long time. So until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Joe Woody Overton.
And a pizza parlor worker.
And Mike's the whipping stick.
For real life, real crime daily. Peace.
Business.
Early holiday savings have arrived at Tanger Outlets. Discover the best gifts from your favorite brands, perfect for everyone on your list. And stack your savings with up to 70% off, plus an extra 15 to 25% off only during Tanger Style. Save at Polo Ralph Lauren, Old Navy Outlet, Under Armour, Skechers, J. Crew Factory, and more. Hurry in. These early holiday deals last through November 24th. Tanger Outlets. More savings, more cheer.